Night and Day, Jacob and Renesmee. Chapter 3. Without a doubt, it's been you. The sunrise broke into the thick clouds. It was going to be a sunny day, which meant the Collins wouldn't be out today. I decided to make plans to go see Nessie. It didn't take me too long to drive at their place. Nessie was still at the cottage when I had arrived. She tried hard not to show her smile when she saw me, but I caught a glimpse. Nessie didn't have many friends, given her quick growth. It would be impossible for her to go to school. Esme taught Nessie at home most of the days, so I became her daily visitor. At times, I sat in with her lessons, but we ended up cutting up and not paying attention. It didn't sit too well with Bella, so I was expelled from daily lessons with Nessie. But it gave me time to myself to scout the lands, spend time with Billy, and work on my mechanic skills. Nessie bounced quickly to me. So, I know you have plans already, I can tell. Where are you taking me, or should I say, where are you following me today? Actually, I was hoping we could have a normal afternoon. The sun is out, and I don't want to take the chance of you being exposed. You're so boring, Jacob. That's what makes it so exciting, the adrenaline rush of having to hide. No, Nessie, I can't have something happen to you. If you want to be exposed, then fine, but don't let me try to bail you out. There you go again, thinking I need the protection. Might I add, I am a full-grown adult now. Fine, but don't expect me to rescue you. Oh, Jacob, you know you're going to be the first one there when I need you. She was right. I felt embarrassed that I was too obvious about my need to be there with her at all times. But it was reassurance for Bella and Edward, even for me. So what do you want to do then? Thought you would never ask. It's a perfect day for bike riding. We headed to a reclusive place. I had been giving bike lessons to Nessie ever since she learned about my skills. It didn't surprise me that Nessie didn't feel any need to stop going after that adrenaline rush. She was hungry to explore every day. It was always hard to talk Nessie out of anything. Once her mind was made up, it pretty much went that way. Of course, Nessie picked up the bike pretty quickly and dared herself with some crazy tricks. It was hard to stop her from trying to hurt herself, but she was a pro after our first lesson. I didn't let her ride without her helmet though. Plus, it hid her skin being exposed from the sun hitting our face, which allowed us to ride with others in sight. We ended up arriving at an open field. Esme had packed us some lunch, which was thoughtful. Esme was always so gracious with her hospitality. Nessie had learned to eat like humans for the sake of it. The only time she would eat human food was when she was with me. So there we were, settled in the field with our lunch. Every movement she made, I kept staring at her. It was hard not to watch her. You know, Jacob, your following eyes are almost becoming too eerie. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it. Did I just blush? She caught me off guard. I didn't want it to seem intentional. I always felt so clumsy in her presence at times, which made me feel unreliable. I can't lose concentration, especially if there came a time when I needed to protect her. It had been 7 years of peaceful living. Nothing had disturbed our lands, and the Collins went on with their lives as usual. Jacob, are you okay? It seems I lost you there for a minute. I'm good. Thinking about the good old days when there was action. You're bored? Am I making you bored? No. I mean, my mind was thinking about how complicated things used to be. Everything is running smoothly. Makes me think it's too calm. Is there something wrong with that? Nessie, I just don't want things to go awry. That's all. And what would make it go awry? We're at peace with the Volturi's and with your people. Everything is perfect. Yeah, too perfect, I guess. We finished lunch quickly and decided to get back on our bikes. She was trailing behind as I outraced her. This was going to be an easy win for me. And then, not 2 seconds later, I saw what looked like a bear coming right after Nessie. It hauled her off the bike, then dragged her several yards before I was able to get to her. I formed into a werewolf within a blink of an eye and lunged for the bear's throat. He put up a good fight. but wasn't a match for my size and speed. He gave up, but I saw all the blood he was losing as he ran off into the forest. My focus shifted back to Nessie, who was lying on the ground motionless. I transformed back into human form and quickly dressed. Nessie! She wasn't moving. Nessie, please! My heart was pounding, and I could literally feel my blood drain from my face. I placed my ear to listen to her heart. It was still beating. There was blood soaking through her shirt. The bear must have grabbed her by the waist. I lifted her shirt to locate the open wound. She was already slowly healing. Thank goodness she was able to heal herself. Jacob. It seemed as if she was struggling to speak. Nessie, I'm here. You're bleeding, but slowly healing. You'll be fine in a few minutes. I think the bear clawed your waist when he came for you. Stupid bear. Why did he come after me? Doesn't he realize you have more meat on you and would make the better meal? I let out a laugh. Only Nessie could remain calm and still apply jokes at the same time. I was relieved that she felt better enough to make sarcastic comments. Jacob, are those tears? I'm okay. Can't you see? I couldn't stop the tears from coming. I don't know what I would have done if anything would happen to her. I already told myself I couldn't live with myself if Nessie had been hurt or gone. Nessie slowly sat up and placed her hands on my face to wipe away my tears. It's so strange to see tears, and especially from you, Jacob. I didn't let go of my grip around her until I knew she was fully recovered. She didn't seem to let go of me either. Instead, she placed her left hand on the other side of my face to wipe away the remainder of the tears. Her right hand still rested on my right side. She then moved her left hand behind my neck and slowly pulled me towards her. She placed her lips on mine with intricacy and pulled me in closer. I didn't resist and held her tighter, never wanting to let go. Without hesitation, I responded to her kiss. It felt so right, so perfect. Her lips were soft and warm. It wasn't what I had expected. It was more. I couldn't resist. Each movement made me want her more. I placed her right hand around my neck. I felt her fingers slowly running through my hair. The sensation ran down my spine. My hands found themselves below the back of her waist and lifted her towards me. She weighed no more than a feather. I could hear a soft whimper from the back of her throat, as if she was pleased with my responsiveness and control. I parted from her lips as my lips traveled down her neck. They caressed her neck and planted kisses. She tasted sweeter than the way she smelled. The last kiss met her collarbone, and then my eyes became lost in her gaze. Our lips met again, and the passion didn't stop. I didn't want to pull back, but I had to so I could make sure she wasn't in pain from the wound. As I lifted her shirt to study the wound, it had disappeared as if it never existed. The blood stain still remained on her shirt. There was so much blood. I'm so sorry, Nessie. It didn't come fast enough. I shouldn't have left you behind while racing. I should have followed you instead. My carelessness. She placed her finger on my lips to silence me. Thank you, Jacob. I know, I'm just glad you're here now. I held her tighter and then gently placed a kiss on her forehead. From that moment, I vowed never to let go of her or lose sight of her again. Jacob, I know I'm not the type to show my emotions to you or verbally tell you. I've always had this sense to want you close to me at all times, even after you leave. I feel eager for the next day to see you again. It's almost as if my days won't be fulfilled unless you're in them. But I've always wanted you. With me. It's been you, Jacob. I just want to let you know, without a doubt, it's been you that I've always wanted. I felt a sense of relief with every word Nessie said to me. What felt like an eternity to wait for her became well worth the time. I still held her in my arms, not once letting loose of my grip. Nessie, you've no idea my feelings right now. I picked her up and hugged her so tightly. The smile on my face was glowing as she smiled back at my reaction. Nessie, I've wanted to hear those words from you and hoped you would one day feel what I feel for you. Never gonna allow those feelings to slip 1 second. You've made me the happiest man. I howled so loud that it even pierced my own ears. Nessie threw a punch on my chest, which felt like a raindrop. Jacob Black, you're too silly. Let's get back. You need to change. We got on our bikes and headed back. As we left, I looked at the area where the bear had escaped. I've never witnessed a bear of that size. I would have to return once Nessie was safe so I could trace its track. Hopefully, with the damage it endured for me, it would have undergone a slow death.